Hey guys, how's it going? tmanplays here with another Warno ranked game for you today. And today we're going to be playing as the 1st Armored Division, playing 39th Guards. So right off the bat, I'm kind of expecting my opponent to helicopter rush me because that seems to be the meta nowadays. Sure enough, you can see started with 2 ASFs and, well, 3 helicopters coming my way. So instantly, we know his strategy. Thankfully, we've somewhat prepared for this. As you can see, I have AA here, 2 pieces of AA here. The tornado was really supposed to help me deal with the early helicopters. However, because he had the 2 MiG MLDs, it's not really going to be much juice anymore. So now we got to conservatively deploy all this infantry. So just going to unload that, try and hide it in the trees as these helicopters are looking to destroy my opener. And you see sneakily moving around 2 of these scouts with the Law 80s behind his lines while he's doing this. So at least on this right hand side, I kind of expected him to helicopter rush me here. But gonna have to buy another tornado. Thankfully, that's really good at dealing with these helicopters. So it does take out the 1 recon helicopter at least. Uh, Gives him no longer vision on everything, which is nice. And well, we still have 2 AIM 9Ms. So gonna try and at least maybe get another hit here on a helicopter. Unfortunately, not able to find a hit. Can't really move these guys anywhere. Gonna go down. Do have our Javelin LML. It's gonna finally be making it to the front there. And well, moving in with our last AIM 9. Does at least find a good hit there. Not able to find the kill though. British actually pretty good at dealing with helicopter rushes just because of these Javelin LMLs. Because you can get a salvo length of 3 on these, and they fire every 2 seconds there, which is really nice. But another tornado up. Gonna be looking to kill off at least one of these helicopters. Do at least get the kill on one there. Unfortunately, do go down to the Su-27, but we actually get a really lucky trade there and take out his Su-27S as well. So just gonna be selling all my stuff now. Gonna get 45 points back from selling these Lynxes. Should be a nice boost. Moving my Javelin LML away from his infantry here. And well, since I have the recon here leading to his back zone, I'm just gonna keep moving my Sultan through in hopes that we can capture his back zone, put more pressure on his front line troops. But Carl Gustav here gonna be able to deal with one of the BTRs. SAS patrol, pretty deadly in buildings like this. So as these Motostroki get close, gonna open up with these MP5s, doing a lot of damage. Same with the satchel charge there, really stuns him down. And well, those Motostroki are gonna be useless against his SAS patrol now, so he's gonna be forced to retreat. And we're just gonna move our Terrier Paris through to maybe get the Igla that I saw here as the first Motostroki is going to go down to the SAS patrol there. On the right hand side, just moving up my rifles a bit just to make sure he has nothing in the zone. I already have my Javelin LMLs in position in case he rushes across helicopters here. And well, now I'm going to bring up these Gazelle rockets, little helicopter rush of my own just to deal with all his infantry that's unsupported now by that AA. And we can see he did spot my CV here that he's following with an MI8. SAS patrol also getting kind of gunned down by these BTRs. But Gazelle rocket's going to be doing a lot of damage to the Motostroki there. Don't find the kill, but do at least a lot of damage. Carl Gustav going to be able to destroy one of the BTRs and the Igla there. And well, it's close. We're almost in the zone. Fortunately, Su-25 opens up just before we can decap that. So a little unfortunate there, but we do force him to buy at least an SU. It's not going to be too useful to him on the ground right now. So it is at least a positive. But now, just buying a bunch of infantry, sending the infantry up to basically regain all this ground. As we know, this entire area here is clear. He has nothing here because of our scouts. So that's really nice information for me I don't have to worry about this flank. I can kind of concentrate on my units here. Fortunately, though, let's have some type of uh, maybe a BMP-3 here. It's going to take out my transport, but we do unload it just in time. And while we're just trying to run away with the scouts, away from this Mi-8, because he's just trying to gun me down with the Su-25. So really could use some infantry here. Perhaps could have routed this infantry up, as you see I'm trying to do right now. But then I get a little worried that there might actually be something here, as he did have the Igla there. So slowly moving up the rifles. Not really too much else happening. We are going to get a nice little cheeky shot there on a Ural. And I'm just going to decide to unload the Javelin LML here, as I don't really want a chance getting shot by anything traveling down that road. And I did get this guy in cover, so going to be able to find some shots there now. Do see my Law 80 engaging the T-80B. Finds a really nice stun there. These have a quick rate of fire as well. And 3 hits, destroying that T-80B. Really nicely done. Gazelle rockets now going to be helping my rifles with some of this Motoshoki. Unfortunately, these are already out of ammo. And, well, now all the rest are out of ammo. So going to send those back to the supply to resupply. I did lose a recon unit here that was actually going to scout for my Challenger. So now I'm forced to pull that back, order up some more recon for that tank, because I can't really send them in unsupported like that. And I'm just moving my other rifles to basically help with this engagement against the Motoshoki. Unfortunately, because I did send my command up to capture the zone, and then he basically captured this, he got a nice +3, which has really allowed him to catch back up into this game. And, well, because I'm using these slow armored Sultan CVs, it's going to take me quite a while to get back into the middle. But now that I've got my Gazelle rockets resupplied, we're basically forcing his Motoshoki back. See an HE bomber there, going to destroy my rifles. I'm going to send one of my Tornado F3s after that. He does have his MiG-23 MLDs up, though, so we're going to pull that back. Do at least get a nice hit on the end of that. And, well, kind of want to take this engagement because he's going to fly over all my AA, and I decide to buy another Tornado F3. At least take out one of the MLDs, but that's not really a great trade for me, as these are only 175 points. Decide to go for the Su-27, and, well, I lose the other one there. So really not a favorable engagement for me. That should have been managed a lot better. But we are at least gaining ground in the middle. We are at least winning on this front. We still have the one Law 80 up here. And, well, our Chally 2 now is going to be able to kind of peek around, as we have plenty of recon supporting that, as well as the infantry up front. So if anything wants to fire upon this, it will go down. This is a fully elite Challenger 2 as well. So I'm going to decide to move forward my recon helicopter just to see what's here. See if I can maybe gain a lot more ground than I think. I'm going to go ahead and start moving up the rifles just a bit. So now that I have these Javelin LMLs here, his helicopters are going to be kind of forced back. At least destroy an Mi-8 there. Charlotte 10M trying to get my Gazelle rockets, using those to gun down his recon. And, well, smoked preemptively on that Challenger Mark II, just in case he could somehow see that. Trying to find a kill there with the Tornado. Unfortunately, don't get a kill there. Really unfortunate, but gonna have to pull this guy back over all my AA. As I'm just slowly getting more Javelin LMLs up. Tornado trying to escape.
This is Red 2, enemy spotted. It always comes down to the infantry.
So at least get another nice hit there, but the only problem with the Javelin LML, it only has 4 HE. So even 2 hits from one of these, not going to be able to take out a plane, unless it has 8 hit points, of course. Moving through my Chieftain, but then we spot the Motoshoki here. So going to have to pull that back, clear that out with my infantry. Also a T-80B shows itself. I'm also moving my scouts in the rear, maybe to find a side shot or something on some of this heavy armor back in this area.
Medic!
So slowly moving
Red
forward
team's
with the
mounted up.
Challenger 2. Have the SAS patrol clearing the forest for it. And while just pulling back
What
my
are your
tank
orders, sir?
so that we can push that back up when the Motoshoki's been dealt
Get
with.
there!
Terrier Paris, though, have the shock trait. So going to do a really nice job of dealing with that Motoshoki there. Don't really have to worry about the T-80B too much, because once we take out the Motoshoki, he shouldn't have vision on that anymore. Also getting some supply up for these rifles here, just to hold these buildings. We see a CV just came in here. So originally, I was buying this Tornado Bomber to basically hit where I thought that CV was, but then I kind of thought about it, realized maybe this T-80B is the better target there, just since I know where that is. So sending in the F3 and the bomber. F3 mainly to deal with the Su-25 rocket there.
There are two types of pilots.
So that's going to go find a nice 3 shots there. Take that out. Bomber lands right on that T-80B, deals with that. And while we get a really good engagement here and actually find the revenge kill on that Su-27. So that was a very nice engagement for us, but we do lose the Tornado in the end.
Enemies nearby.
But now I have tanks up. We know he doesn't have that T-80B anymore. Chieftains can do really nicely with these BMP-3s at semi-close range.
Successful hit.
And we have a lot of infantry up now, so we're just slowly moving up, trying to find the CV there, as well as with the Challenger support here, in case anything comes down this road. More rifles approaching.
We've got him. I'm hit.
But the Chieftain Mark 11's doing a really nice job stunning down the Motoshoki there. Same with the Chaui 2, helping out with this engagement with the rifles. And while my recon giving me good vision on what's coming down these kind of side roads here, as well as letting me know this area is still all clear. So I'm going to move one of the rifles down there, moving up my other Carl Gustav team there, or my other rifle team there, and my other Javelin up there. Unfortunately, I did lose my Challenger Mark II, I believe, to that T-80B, or BV. So a bit of a mismanagement there as I was focusing on giving these units orders over here and then coming back. Didn't really see what took that out in the moment, but I think it was the T-80BV. However, by this point, we have taken out his CV. We've kind of pushed him out of this zone.
Enemy nearby.
And you can see he's retreating there, so that lets me know there's basically nothing here, because he would have kept that there if he had some infantry here. This SAS patrol also giving me nice vision on what's behind these buildings. So now I'm going to move across my chieftains, basically, because we know this area is clear. It's just kind of useless if they're sitting back here doing nothing. So we're going to move them more towards the front, kind of in these weird little sideline areas, basically to help against these little roads. See, he's got a fair amount of T-80BBs, but as long as I can keep these kind of at short range and not really in good positions, we can really let these chieftains shine, especially our rifles in these buildings. But we do see one of my issues here. I've kind of outran my AA net, so I noticed that immediately as soon as I see the helicopter. I'm gonna go ahead and start moving across these Javelin LMLs.
Andrew, get there.
And we're gonna move this tank just a little bit further forward. Gazelle rocket, gonna be hoping to suppress the Grinzer there, make it more favorable engagement for me. And then we're just going to pull him back to resupply for more rockets. See a plane coming in. Because of how high it's flying, you can see it's an LGB bomber. And well, sure enough, that recon could see my tank there. So free kill for him. And well, Su-24 or Su-22 HE bomber. Gonna do a really nice run on my rifles there. So I am taking quite a few heavy losses now because my AA net Hasn't really followed my troops. You can also see I'm getting even more javelin LMLs. I also have a tracked rapier that now has arrived. I've got some warriors on each side now to basically help keep away the helicopters and allow some armed rifles to get in these buildings, retake control of that area. And just on the left hand side, I'm 2v1ing squad of Motostoki there. Shouldn't be an issue for me. And well, unfortunately for me, he somehow has vision on this challenger there. So he does take that out. Not really sure what spotted that. Actually, kind of want to see. Okay, yeah, not really sure what spotted that in the grand scheme of things. Um, but he did see it somehow on this road. Didn't look like the recon chopper was in position, but oh well. But we do get a tornado bomber to basically get rid of the Motoshoki there. Gonna do a nice run, take those guys out. We're now moving in some arm rifles because we know his T-80Bs, BVs are all kind of in this area. So gonna flank around with the warriors, maybe get some rear shots, and then move in these armed rifles into these back buildings since we're kind of already in here. So we see we're actually kind of stunning down that T-80B quite nicely. Gonna force him to retreat from that engagement. Have another bomber coming in for his T-80BVs here, just to really kind of suppress those down, allow my infantry to get close, do at least get a Ural out of that. And well, armed rifles getting really close to that building now. So finally get in there. We see he just has the one unit of infantry. Tracked rapiers, javelin LMLs finally take down a MiG-23 MLD. As Su-25 is going to do a bit of a gun run there. And well, by this point, we already have another chieftain up. Now I'm just spreading out my armored rifles to try and hit these tanks in the rear. Do get at least the Strela 10M there. Gonna start firing upon the other T-80B. Trying to find the rear shot with this guy. Do get a nice side shot there at least. And well, once we get in the building, gonna be able to finish off this T-80B. So now we're moving towards the next T-80BB. As he just has a lot of planes, but nothing really on the ground. And now I have tracked rapiers up. So we're just going to slowly start moving these forward to protect our main line here. So you can see my tracked rapier getting a nice hit there. And well, now we got the armored rifles here. Gonna find a nice side shot on that BV. SU rocket flying over the tracked rapiers. And well, that's a dead Su-25. Even capture a supply there at the end. But then opponent there gonna call it GG. As you can see, the trades weren't actually too far off, but just he invested so much in the Air Force that he didn't really have a ground presence, as that is kind of the meta right now. The meta, very much a helicopter opener, followed up by ASFs, and then just lots of air to get the air superiority, overwhelm your opponent that way. But British First Armored seemed to kind of hold its own this game. Survived yet another helicopter rush in ranked. So be careful out there, guys. Make sure to prepare yourselves against 39th for the helicopter rush, especially against 35th. That's a really strong one. Same with 8th. But yeah, he didn't really find too much value out of these guys. So that was great for me. As the only thing I really struggled to deal with this game was the MiG-27 LGB that took out 2 of my tanks. Other than that, I think we fared pretty well. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. And I hope to see you in the next one. Later, guys.